Bada boom, bada bing. Peter Pan, Stephen King. It's me. Hello. I'm turning my brightness down because I forgot to do that again. I had a cool entrance and everything, and well, should have fucked it up by immediately forgetting to do the thing I always forget to do. But my sheet is caught on the thing because we are low budget. Oh shit! I just fucked up my webcam. Oh, it's too. Hang on. There we go. Perfect. Imagine having a budget. My budget is like the $20 I spent on my emotes, and that's literally it. Living the life, my dudes. Living the life. But yes, welcome in, my dudes. Good lord, there are a lot of bots in here. Why are there so many bloody bots? Why are there so many? Why are they here? What are they doing? Get out of my house. Bugger off. My god, there's so many bots. There's like 7 of them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's at least 7 in here right now. I know, but it's annoying. Just, you know, because the viewer count isn't always right? You know, so I'm looking at the number of viewers, and I'm like, right, I'll check the view, like the number of viewers, and I open it up, and I'm like, why the fuck is there 7 people in here? Oh, they're all bots. Oh yeah, I know. One of them isn't, because there's 2 people here. There's a secret lurker. Hello, secret lurker. I respect you. I respect that shit, you know. Okay, right. Memes aside. Well, I forgot to do the normal thing I do where I actually, like, tell people I'm streaming. So I should probably do that. I know, exactly. That's why I'm saying there's a secret, you know, I don't even know who it is. That's the point. There is a secret lurker in here somewhere, and, you know, good for them. Let's fucking chill. Okay, right. Now, I should probably do the thing where I tell people that I'm streaming, you know? Maybe I should do that. Let me do that real quick. Okay, right. Right, now. So what's the plan? The plan is here on the screen. It's packing your bags, new inventory rules for D&D 5e. This is what we be making today. What do these rules be? Well, I'm gonna now, I put on my schedule for today, prepare for this, right? Because I was going to need to do a lot of explanation to kind of, like, explain what the fuck it is I'm doing. And then I just didn't do any of that preparation, like, at all. So, we're gonna do that right now. Oh, that's something I forgot to do as well. I forgot to turn my desktop notifications off, because those are loud. Right. Let me get my, oh, something fell on the floor. Oh, it was some tape. Don't mind me. I'm very disorganized. Oh god, what's it got? Oh, I got a horrible middle pattern. Oh no. Fix that. There. Now I got this awful side parting instead. Right. I got the PHP here. I'm looking for a specific thing. Where is it? Is it at the back? I think it might be at the back. Here it is. Yep. Okay. So, there's a better way of doing this, but here is the 5e character sheet. It's right here. And you put all of your items here. It's a very tiny box. And you, as a dude, generally have a lot of stuff. A lot more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 lines. Well, no, 15 lines worth of stuff. Even just like a starting character will very frequently have like 20 different things in their inventory. Including the stuff, you get an Explorer's Pack. You don't just write Explorer's Pack, because then you have to look up what's in it every time you want to know. You write the things that are inside of it, which is like, let's see if I can get this off the top of my head. It's like backpack mess kit, tinderbox, 10 torches, 50 feet of hemp rope, pittance, maybe 10 pittance? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm missing. There's a bedroll. That's one. But either way, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to just be writing Explorer's Pack. You want to write all of those individual things that you have. That inventory section is awful, and it's bad, and it sucks, and it's just the worst. It really does fucking suck. So I have my own, because I spliced my own character sheet together that all of my players use in their games, and it has some flaws, but generally speaking, it's pretty decent. It's mostly me splicing together bits of other character sheets and parts of the base one to make my own, and it's pretty good. Yeah, the tracking inventory in 5th edition as a whole is cumbersome and unfun. That is the very long-winded point I'm on at the moment, is that it sucks. Let me go find my character sheet. Oh no, I opened completely the wrong thing. Right, base 5e character sheet. Yes. Oh, well, welcome in, Ruben. Welcome in, Joe. So, let me just... So this is the one that I use. This is my character sheet here. And notice how the inventory isn't even on this page. So, ignoring a lot of this, we can scroll along. The back one is very similar. The spells, I have these little thingies. They, you can tick verbal somatic material concentration. It's kind of useful, I've found. And inventory gets a whole ass fucking sheet to itself. Gets a whole thing. Because, evidently enough... I almost deleted this, whoops. I almost pressed the wrong button and deleted it. But evidently enough, people get a lot of things. I know, crazy. But people get things. And a lot of them as well. So quantity, item, weight, and description is just for notes, right? Like, because sometimes if you have rope, you're not going to need to write anything. It's just rope. You have the rope or you don't have the rope. That's pretty fucking self-explanatory. But do you want to know the worst thing ever about inventory? Is every time you take anything in or out of your inventory, you have to completely recalculate your current weight total. Every fucking time, and thus no one ever does it. Nobody under the sun ever does it. And I play a lot of my games online. And on something like Roll20, it's actually really easy to track weight if you know how to work whatever character sheet you're using. It's very, very easy to do because it does all the maths for you. In paper, it does the exact fucking opposite. And it is the most cumbersome and annoying thing on the planet. If you use something like D&D Beyond, it does much the same, where it will calculate all of your shit for you. To my knowledge, I don't use D&D Beyond, nor do I ever have any particular desire to. Personally, not a fan of D&D Beyond. I think it's kind of shit. For what it is, it's good, but I don't like the business model, and I don't think the service is all that great. Either way, that aside... this has proven to be a drastic improvement from the character sheet in the PHB's inventory section, right? Which is, you don't even have a section to write your current weight or your maximum weight, and you have this tiny box here to put everything you own. It's not even a square, but it's like 2 by 2 inches and like 15 lines of text, most of which are cut short by the money boxes. I did actually put the money on a different page. I put the money here because I figured the money that you're going to be tracking money a lot more than everything else. Either way, my plan with, let me go back to my Word doc. With packing your bags, is to make a system that makes inventory management in D&D easy, in paper and online, and get this. Maybe, I don't know, but either way, is to make it easy, and yeah, it does have a treasure section, yeah, but even so, like, it's kind of bananas. So the initial goal is to make it really easy to do, and the second goal is to make it something that people actually want to do, or even if they don't actively want to do it, it's not a fucking chore. Because it doesn't matter how easy it is in the current system, or in this case, is not easy, because it isn't. It's a giant pain in the ass if you play on paper, and if you play, like, it's very easy if you're on Roll20 or D&D Beyond, it's really easy, but it's not fun. It's just, or enjoyable in any capacity. It's just text. My goal here is to take systems prevalent in a lot of survival games. Things, I'm trying to think of good examples, and nothing is really springing to mind, because I'm not talking like Minecraft, where you have inventory slots, right? Because that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for like the next step up from realism, where you still have the slots, but they're sized, and they're tiered. So, for example, I'm going to be sorting the items into size category, not actual. I'm going to have to come up with new names for them. It's probably going to be like, so the problem is they got all the regular sizes. Like we're going to have like objects that are, you know, palm sized, you know, the kinds of things that you can just like attach to like your hip or whatever on like a loop, on like a belt loop. You have larger items like a short sword or something that you actually have to like commit a part of your person to have on you, and bigger items like a long rifle or a long sword or like a battle axe or like a great sword. You know, bigger items that take up a lot of space. Because calculating weight is not something players want to be doing, so they won't do it. They just won't. Speaking from experience, like, as a player, not ever keeping track of my current weight, even when I'm playing online, and seeing my players never bother to do the maths ever when playing in print, and then suddenly realizing they're probably carrying about 300 pounds of stuff and didn't even notice. And this system, like the thing of just never keeping track of what's in your inventory, that's totally fine for most styles of play, right? It's not something people are going to need to do. It's not even something people are going to necessarily want to do. Well, it certainly isn't the latter. Nobody is going to want to do it because it fucking sucks. But it's not needed. It doesn't detract from the game in any capacity, having it or not having it. If anything, it probably detracts more when you have it. Certainly once you crest like 5th or 6th level, where you have all the tools you need to survive all the time anyway. Because of things like create food and water, and Liamon's tiny hut, and spells that basically say you don't need to do exploration anymore. You have tools that just bypass all of that now, which to some degree is fine, and to most degrees is not. The goal for this is to create a system that works for a specific style of game. a style of game that is, you know, like a Points of Light game, a West Marches, maybe, like a Points of Light setting with, you know, big stretches of wilderness that is largely unexplored, very dangerous in between settlements. And a game I'm running at some point next year, which is a game set in a post-apocalypse, a post-magical apocalypse. I think there's, I'm not sure if Ruben's still here, but I know Katie still is. Oh yeah, that too. That's 100% a factor. Unless you're a small creature, in which case you can't not be over it. But yeah, I'm running a post-apocalypse game. It's still set in sort of normal D&D times, I guess. But it is after a magical apocalypse has turned everything into Mad Max, just minus the motorcycles, and the flamethrower guitars and the big, like, the big 18-wheelers and all that, and less Australian, I guess. That's probably, yeah, less Australian, I think, is probably one of the major differences, because real life Australia is already like 50% a wasteland, so like, you know, it's a bigger jump going from like medieval Europe with some magic, which is basically what this setting was, to, oh no, everything's Mad Max now. That man, his skin has been stained white by radiation poisoning, and he's constantly screaming and shoving gravel into his open wounds. Oh no, this is the world I live in now. It's very unpleasant. So yeah, that's the world, and I want survival to play a factor, right? I want the players to actually care about the things that they're carrying, and to use more than 2 brain cells when calculating, like when thinking, how do we get from A to B? Because it becomes less about like getting from A to B is dangerous, which is in most D&D games, and that is not different here. It's still fucking dangerous, but it becomes more of a factor of, how do we get from A to B without dying of dehydration? How do we get from A to B carrying all of our stuff in a desert, over dunes, with pockets of radiation, and one of us currently has like cholera or something? I don't know, maybe I won't go that far, but like, it's kind of the idea of, the world is unpleasant, everything is challenging, but in a way that's not unfair, and making inventory something players actually kind of want to toy around with seems kind of fun. That's sort of the aims of the systems. I have 2 aims. So I think the first thing we'll do actually is aims. So we're going to make a list of aims. So aim number 1, simple to understand and use. Or no, simple to understand. 2, quick and easy to use. 3, works well both on paper and online. That is super crucial. This is an online game, and this kind of system works better on paper, because you have to pay money to make editable character sheets on Roll20. So I want this to be something that players can do on a Roll20 character sheet without wanting to end it all, you know? That seems like a reasonable suggestion, if you ask me. So that's the plan there. So the sort of, moving on to what it actually is objects are of differing sizes. The body and storage objects can contain objects of certain sizes, right? I'm trying to think of a game which has this kind of element. I have a feeling that a lot of zombie survival games have this. but I may be wrong. No. Oh well, the one I'm thinking of doesn't. Hang on. Inventory management. Game. Ooh, perfect. I don't know what game this is. That's, that, I have absolutely no idea what game this is. Frankly. No idea. Let me try and find out what game this is. Ah. This is from Deus Ex Human Revolution, apparently. Which seems like a weird game to have this kind of system in it. This is the kind of system I'm talking about. Except it's more visual to you. So instead of just having a generic amount of slots, you have, like, your hang on, let me, hang on. Microsoft Paint. The greatest tool. So, oh, that's too thin. So we have this is a person. He's got little arms. He's got little hands now. He's got like a belt. He's got his pants. I'm not sure why his dick is square, but you know, don't question it. So this is a person. I'm gonna give him a little head. Here we go, right? This is our diagram. This is his head for some reason, right? So, on his body, on this fabulous gentleman's body, he's going to have different inventory slots. So he has yes. So he's got 2 back slots. They probably wouldn't be like this. They'd be like this, because they're going to be squares, right? So he has 2 back slots, which are, for the purpose of this, we'll say they are large slots. The implication of this is that, like, you put something on your back. You know, like, I can on my back, if I wanted to, I could sling a rifle over one shoulder and a rifle over the other shoulder. Or, for example, my backpack. Actually, wait, hang on, actually. Realistically, it would make the most sense if we just had a large slot like that. That would actually make a lot more sense. Because the idea is you're going to have a backpack here. And your backpack itself... So let's draw a backpack. This is a very unfortunate backpack. So here is the backpack. We got some little side pouches. It's got some little side pouches over here, right? Now, so inside this backpack, we have spaces, we have medium slots. I have some notes on this written down somewhere. Let me go find them. I think I put them in this notebook. I believe I did, anyway. What the hell did I do with it? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. I found my notes on this. So this is what this is what happens when you don't prepare for things. Is you forget you have notes that describe exactly what you're talking about, and even like have like the diagrams you're in the process of drawing right now. So the idea with this is effectively there are tiny items like coins, bullets that are negligible, right? They're you know, like one coin is not going to fill up an inventory slot. A pouch full of coins would, but that pouch is not really going to have a, you know, like a defined That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. We have small items such as light weapons and potions. So, for example, if you have, if your belt has like 3 small, so hang on, let me look at the old. You can see that there, that's a belt. I can't read it from here, but we have medium slot, and 3 small slots here. Hang on, I should probably do something like zoom in so that you can actually fucking see. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's even the right way round. Look at that. So these are large slots. So large, small, small, small. So we have a backpack. So large. Oh, what is that? The backpack is ambiguous. Oh no, it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 medium slots. I think I changed it. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 on top. You've got your shirt. Oh, this is your back. So you have 2 large slots here. And the conversion rate would be 2 small is a medium, 2 medium is a large. And 2 large, it's something you probably can't carry, right? I think the implication is we ignore weight. We completely strike weight off the list of things that we care about. That is my sort of modus operandi here, right? Is we completely throw weight away. We don't use it. We don't interact with it. The only instance where weight comes into play is when an object is just physically too heavy for you to carry long distance. Because if an object weighs 50 pounds and isn't something that you can wear, how in the fuck are you supposed to walk around with it? Like, how are you supposed to walk 25 miles in a day carrying an anvil on your back, for example? Like an anvil that, the big old, anvil that weighs like 50 pounds of steel. How are you supposed to do that? The answer is you can't. And if you were to try, you would not have fun time. So weight only really comes into play when you're trying to carry around something that is unfeasibly large. And everything else is, or unfeasibly heavy, more specifically. And all other items on your person fit into these little slots. The issue in design comes along when you have to get that across to players as to how that actually works. My thoughts are varied on how this would work, because on like a paper character sheet, this would be effortless, right? You literally cut, you cut things, you have different counters, like wooden counters or even just paper counters, and you make a lattice grid that shows all of your things, and you can physically fill in the slots with tiny little counters, right? That makes a lot of sense, and that would 100% work. But you can't do that on Roll20, so we have to come up with something else. Because you can do that on paper, but on Roll20, you cannot. So we need to come up with a way of, at the very, very least, visualizing it somewhat. Even if we can't fully visualize it, we need to be able to at least try. So that is the plan, is to make an inventory system that doesn't make you want to drill a hole in your skull, whilst also being something that a DM can actually enforce in a game and say, this is what we're using, you have to follow this. And if you don't, then you're being a meta little bitch. So that is the plan. Is it going to work? Maybe. Maybe it's going to work. I think that is certainly a possibility, but I think there is I think there is nothing more fiddly than constantly doing maths. Like, obviously, the least fiddly is just ignoring inventory altogether, right? It's just completely ignoring it. And that does work. But, again, that defeats the point of making a system in the first place. Like, so, the plan is we may have to, like, delocalize. We may have to, like, de-emphasize the way all of this works. De-emphasize location on your person. That may have to be a factor. Or maybe we can keep it but not make it quite as visual. That's my thought. Is, you know, you can have things on your belt. You can put something in your boot if you want. You can put a small, you can put a tiny item in your boot. Maybe a dagger becomes a special thing because it's the only weapon that's tiny sized. And all of the others are small or medium or in some cases large. That is true. That is true. So I'm gonna get rid of this horrible paint thing. Goes back to Word document calculation. Oh, we lost 2 that time. There he goes. Godspeed, my brother. Right. So, I need to actually keep my notes open. That would probably help me somewhat, is if I keep the notes open in front of my eyeballs. So let's prop the notes up. I'll try to, anyway. I'll be going same time as normal, by the way. So, I know I've prattled on for a long time about basically piss all. But we're actually going to fucking start doing something now. So we're going to start by sort of defining... So I think we might start by defining objects and sizes. So we're going to start by using... I think on something like Roll20, I think it's actually like it's okay. I think it's not awful, but I think it's one of those things where like encumbrance. Oh, in person, I 100% the opposite. Like the exact opposite. I think it's awful. I don't think there are many ways it could be worse than is like using like variant encumbrance in person is like the difector or bifector. Is it di or bi? And I think the bifector of just awful, horrible experience, which is just a bunch of pointless maths that means nothing. Yeah, that's like the. Coins, bullets, so literally like palm-sized things, right? Something that is, you know, that is, they only fill a slot in when they're in some kind of quantity. Coins, bullets. Except daggers. Specifically except daggers. Potions. A medium weapon would be a one-handed weapon. Books. toolkits, 20 arrows or bolts. Counts as a medium thing. Or it would just be a quiver. It would be a medium thing. Yeah, I think in 99% of games, that is 100% just what you should do. Don't exceed your max, and that's it, right? That is like 9 out of 10 games I would run. I would never take it any further than that. This is very specifically for the kind of GM who specifically wants to use for a game that specifically wants to make inventory management matter in a way that isn't awful. I think yeah, like that's oh no, it shouldn't be larger, it should be large. We're going to change these names because obviously these are like size categories for creatures and objects, and like language overlap, bad. We may just have to change them to like tiers or whatever, but like that's less visual, but it doesn't matter. Two-handed weapons. Ugh. Right. So, yeah, I think like a lack of complexity is not necessarily a bad thing. Like in many cases it's neutral, right? And in some cases it's positive. But I think in this particular instance, when inventory management is a part of your game that like actually matters, I don't think anything that Wizards have written really suits that playstyle at all. But yeah, I'd say the next step from this would be defining. So this would be object size examples, and this would be yeah. I think the I think that like obviously exploration is the third pillar of D&D, but 5th edition, I don't think really any edition of D&D has ever even really come close to actually like doing it any form of justice, because all the rules for exploration in the editions I know of are either functionally non-existent, implied but not written, or just bad. And 5e is sort of a blend of all three in a very weird fashion. There's a lot of like implied assumption, lack of source material, and just like shitty, like just like shitty design. It's almost exclusively the first one, which is just a lack of context and attention to it. And also a lot of shitty design as well, because you get abilities that basically just say, oh, you want to do an exploration themed campaign? No. Because you can be a ranger and just never get lost, or cast Goodberry ever and never run out of food, cast Create Water whenever the fuck you want and never run out of water, cost, create food and water, and never run out of either. You know, it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, you really have to like, you really have to push to get anything to like, for that to work, I'd say. Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue is a lot of the exploration rules just bog down the game. There are some good ones, and there are some ones that I like, but a lot of exploration is just it's just a chore, and it sucks, and it's unfun because nothing happens. Not to mention that like, it puts so much extra weight on the GM, like so much. It's the only kind of OP they are, the only kind. Containers. Body parts and containers. Inventory slots. We have a body part, container. Hmm. No, it doesn't work here. Can't do the old MBSP. Oh, hang on. I can use a Braille character. God, I love the Braille characters. The Braille blank character brings me happiness. It really does. Because it's exceedingly useful. Like, holy shit, it's so useful. So a backpack contains 3 medium slots inside. One medium slot on top, and 2 large slots on either side. Oh god, why is this in this font? Absolutely rancid. Disgusting. This isn't Cambria. Get out of my house. Whatever oh god, no. Disgusting. Absolutely rancid. I will not stand for this. I think it's because I put the Braille character. Yeah, the Braille character isn't in Cambria, that's why. Cambria, how could you do this? How could you commit such a grave offense? So, backpack. Oh my god, no. No. Cambria, come back. Pouch. So the pouch has one small slot. I guess we may as well include, like, stats, so to speak. I might not use the Braille character just for the sake of, like... just so it doesn't keep changing the fucking font. Braille character, how could you fail me? So, hell yeah, boys. We stand barrels. My dudes. So, like, a barrel. A barrel compared to a big backpack. I'd say a barrel contains 2 to 3, I would say 3 large slots. So, you put stuff in a barrel. Like, could you fit 3 great swords in a barrel? I'd say so, you know? They might stick out the top a bit, but, you know, they'd fit in pretty easily. Ugh. Oh god, what other containers are there? There is a table of this. Let me go find it. It's in the inventory section of the PHP. Believe it or not, I'll give you a page number once I find it. Because I know where it is, I just gotta find the page. Oh, I'm close. I'm getting close. Oh, I wasn't as close as I thought. Haha! Container capacity on page 153 of the player's handbook in the bottom right hand corner. Hell yeah. A barrel, a basket. We gotta stat baskets, my dudes. Basket. Very important that we stat a basket. This is the riveting game design knowledge you gather from these streams, is how to stat a basket. Hell yeah. Like a basket, so a barrel's like... barrels are big, right? Barrels are big. This is my big brain observation for today. Baskets are small. You know, a basket is like, you can carry it under your arm, you know? I mean, you wouldn't do that because its contents would fall on the floor, but in theory you could if you were bad at carrying things. So I would say, I know, right? Crazy. A basket contains 1 medium slot, I would say. Right, what comes next? A bottle. I don't think a bottle has an inventory slot. A bottle itself is a tiny object. A bucket. I think in this particular instance, a bucket is probably... oh, the basket is implied to be quite large, actually. The bucket is smaller than the basket. Big facts for me today. I think in this particular instance, however, we may conflate them. Look at that, the water's going into the bucket and it's being a bucket. A chest. Now, my money is a chest probably has a lot of slots in it, you see. Let's have a look-see, shall we? So a chest, like, how many cubic feet? 12 cubic feet? It's probably got like, well, it's going to be bigger than a barrel, because like a barrel is like, you know, generally conical. We made the tape of Swift Repair in the Magic Item stream. I'm not sure if you were there for that. It was very good though. Guys, got an artery going? Flex tape. I would say a chest probably contains... I mean, you're an artificer. You can just make some. Like, this is the one thing you've not used yet, as Mino, is you're an artificer. You can make whatever you want. Like, yeah, that's one of your abilities. You make anything like twice as fast and at half the cost of everyone else. That's like the whole point. Like, you get your robot friend, yeah, but like, you use it for the magic items. That's the powerful bit. Sadly not, no. 5 large slots, like a chest. It's got big things in it, and you put lots of stuff in a chest. So I'm going to say 5 slots. Flask or tankard, I'm going to ignore that. Jug or pitcher, a pot. Ah, yes. So that was a lie. A pouch, a sack. Hell yeah, let's stat a sack. Hang on. 1 cubic foot. Sack. I mean, yeah, but those were like unofficial. Those weren't statted. Like, you could just make like machines and magic items. Like that's like the main draw of being an artificer, is using your imagination and making weird shit. So you gotta employ some of that. I think that's all the containers. We have successfully, for those of you who have just joined, I statted a barrel, and several other things, in fact. Guys, got an artery going? Flex tape! After a day out on the water, the inside is completely dry. God, I love Phil Swift so much. Hang on, I need Phil Swift for emotional support. Where is he? I need to get Phil Swift. I need him here. Give me a minute. That's perfect. A little too big. It's a little too much. Okay, right, let's shrink him down a bit. Hang on. Let's just maybe Phil Swift advertises my things for me. Hell yeah, he does. Phil Swift likes my product. Here he is. Hang on, I can add an effect to Phil. I believe I can anyway. Filters. Add a filter. What can we do? What can we do? Do color correction? We can have him scroll. We can color key him. Hang on. Here he is. There we go. That's gonna slow down the stream some, but he's always here. That's gonna get real distracting real fast. Turn that off now. Oh god. Right, turning that off. But yeah. Oh, I put a scroll on for a second. I'll probably have to highlight that, to be fair. Let me stream marker this. Oh. Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Tape, the super strong waterproof tape. I'm trying to think. I need to be able to like hang on. Is there a Flex Tape copy pasta? Of course there is. Wet slap. Oh, because she pushes the two halves of the alien onto the ground. It just, oh, that's upsetting. Oh. Okay, right. So, I think I've exhausted my notes. I think there's another object type that I'm going to add on here. Personal effect, a small, often wearable object that does not. Such as a ring, necklace, personal journal, I suppose I should also define like a wand as a tiny object, and a rod, and a lot would be staff. So that would be like the... God, he's... Okay, right. Mino invents like a buzzsaw. She invents all the saw traps, the reverse bear trap from Saw. Right. I don't need these notes anymore because I've copied everything off of them. So the way we sort of like visualize how this works, right, is you have your character, your guy. You know, you are yeah, he's probably gonna stay there forever now. Ugh. I tell you something I do need. Because I need some fucking light back here, right? Because it is just an inky void. Black there, back there. I need like some fucking gamer LEDs, you know? I need some gamer LEDs. Only issue being I'd have nowhere to plug the fuckers in because there is open space behind all of the. Hang on. I've cocooned myself in some sheets. Yeah, but the batteries would be... I realise I'm just pointing the light directly at my face. Hang on. Oh god, that's... Oh. My eyes. I'm gonna stop doing that now. There you go. This is the webcam now. Look at me. I am the webcam now. Okay, right. I'm gonna put this away. Lamp. Yeah, I suppose I could get some fairy lights, to be fair. Like, that is probably the cheapest option. This is specifically this is not for general use, by the way. This is for like the post-apocalypse campaign where managing your inventory is really gonna matter. And this is for all games like that. Because the majority of games, these rules would be pointless. They would just bog down the game. But in a campaign where I mean, in this case, you don't want to thank Christ that they're all hoarders. Oh, right, okay. No, I misunderstood the intonation of the sentence. I thought it was, thank Christ all my characters are hoarders, but no, it's, thank Christ all my characters are hoarders. Yeah, I say the idea is that this is for the kind of campaign, and these are the kind of rules that once they're fully refined, I would release these. You know, I would release them as probably for free, like, or wow. That is actually, because I do have some Amazon credit, actually. I could go buy some bloody LEDs. I probably should, you know? Like some battery-powered... Hang on. Battery LED lights. LED light strip. Because it would be nice, like, even just when I'm on my own, to have, like, a little bit of light, you know? I'll have a look on Amazon later on. Oh, shit. This is like $12. Syncs with your music? What? That's insane. It's a USB as well, which is odd. Yeah, that's really weird. I'll look at this later on. I'll probably just talk to Dermot actually, because I know he bought some LEDs. Probably just message him and ask him what he got. Oh, welcome in, Shifting Dwarf. Yeah, I probably should just get those, because I'm not really interested in changing gamer LED. It's like, no, I just need some light back here for when I'm streaming, because it's just a dark, inky void. I forgot there were replies functions, but yeah. So yeah, welcome in. I'm working on inventory things. Okay, right. So the yeah, doing pretty good. I say, how is your ongoing project going? Ongoing project going? How is your project going? That's the easier way of phrasing that sentence. Yeah. Yeah, so when you've got that many monsters, shit gets complicated pretty fast. Well, that's something I need to do. What is it? Yeah, I don't recognize the name, but I know the Tuatha De Danann, which they're the big dudes. I do like Celtic myth. I'm a big fan of the Morrigan. The Morrigan is really cool. No bards are proficient. No bards are proficient in simple weapons, to my knowledge. Bards are certainly proficient in simple weapons. That I know for a fact. And a spear is a simple weapon. They don't get shields, but College of Valor would fix that in a heartbeat. I think College of Valor fixes that on the spot. I think, or swords. Let me go to bard. Bard, here we go. Yep, you get proficiency in spears. Oh, and I didn't check if he gets shields as well. Nice. Yeah, that sounds like the College of Swords to me. That sounds a lot like swords. But variation is it is variation. Oh no, you don't get shields as a bard, but I would wager Valor does. I need to open it for the third time, because I forgot to check one of the pieces of information I was going to check. Yeah, you get shields as a Valor bard. You probably don't get shields as a swords bard, but nah, doesn't matter. What was I going to do? I was going to get something, I was going to pick something up. What was it? This. My notes. I say, drop it in here, I'll give it a look. I say, obviously we got College of Swords and College of Valor to do a direct comparison to, so it'll be pretty easy to tell if it's busted or not. You can. You can also just DM it to me if you'd rather. I'm not bothered either way. Whatever's easier. Small to tiny. I'll say I'll have a look at it in a second. So tiny, so small to tiny is 2, 4, 8. 2, 4, 2. Not sure if that is the best way of going about doing that, but it is probably the simplest. Hang on, actually, I need to look at the gold table, the gold conversion table. Page 60. Oh, you're doing all of this in GM Binder? Yeah, that's got to be a nightmare trying to format this in GM Binder. I'd say I would recommend. Well, actually, no, yeah. Like I would, generally speaking, I would do your drafts in Homebrewery. Because it has a slightly different syntax, but GM Binder converts it automatically. GM Binder literally has a button that converts from Homebrewery, and Homebrewery has a much better renderer, like infinitely better, because it just does it. It doesn't make you wait 3 seconds for no reason, because like Homebrewery in many ways is an infinitely better service than GM Binder, but mostly because it doesn't have as many features, but it's not plagued with bugs and horrible awfulness that kind of makes me want to die, because GM Binder very frequently makes me quite angry with just how much of a pain in the arse it can be. I mean, that's fair, but I'd say when you're just doing writing, like that's fine. That's a non-issue. But when you're trying to do formatting, as somebody who does a lot of formatting myself, it is awful. It is easily some of the worst experiences I've ever had with a program. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, they do it this way. So I do 1 of 2, 1 of 4, 1 of 8. Oh, 1 of 8. Right. Have it open now. Let me just close all of this. Page 67, right? Oh, I found it. Right. Right. You can proceed medium armor, and polearms is not a weapon type. So it would just be medium armor, and it would be medium armor, martial weapons, and shields is what you want, which is basically the same as what Valor gets. Hang on. I will do this. This sentence here. This is. Hang on. I can do inspect element with this. Is what I shall do. So, with this here, this ability is perfectly fine, right? But the due to this proficiency bit is kind of weird language that the game doesn't use. Like, it makes logical sense, and anyone who reads that would understand it. But at the same time, you want to be. Oh yeah, like the grammar stuff is like grammar stuff. That doesn't matter. This is more about game language, and using consistent game terms. So I would put. Additionally, you may use a weapon you are proficient with as your spellcasting focus for your bard spells. So that. Okay, right. You basically get like arguably the best part of Hex Warrior. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure if it. Yeah, that's what I was about to do. You also giving them the option to not do it is quite important. You may use your instead of your strength or dexterity. I'll just remove a modifier for your weapon attacks. For the attack and damage rolls of your weapon attacks. Dancing Dervish, you become proficient. I say College of Swords and College of Valor are the two. This one seems to be like you have a blade and you kind of use it to channel your spells, as opposed to you use a blade and you stab a guy, which is what Valor and Swords are. With one end of the polearm and use the yeah. Dancing Dervish, this is parry an attack with the end of the polearm. That doesn't mean anything to my knowledge. I don't think that actually... Hang on, I need to like copy this as text, because editing this in Inspect Element is an unpleasant experience. Right. No paragraph break there. Using your weapon to its maximum defensive potential. As a reaction, you can parry... Right. Whenever a creature within your weapon's reach makes an attack roll against you, you may use to perform one of the following weapon... I don't know how to spell maneuvers. Maneuvers. Right. Yeah, no problem. So the target creature suffers disadvantage on its attack roll. On the triggered attack roll. If the attack misses, the target drops one object it is holding. It would be you cast a bard cantrip targeting the attacking creature. Because This ability is kind of neat. Like, Dancing Dervishes is cool, but it is super broken. You may use this feature a number of times equal to... It was the spellcasting thing that was like, yeah, this is a bit much. I think actually you have Vicious Mockery. You cast a Bard cantrip targeting the attack. So even this is like a bit much. Well, no, I mean it's more that you're doubling your spell output. I think is the core issue. So even the ability to cast a Bard cantrip is like, that's a lot of fucking damage. That's a lot. Not to mention you can just cast Vicious Mockery and they get a disadvantage on their bloody attack anyway. Hang on. To cause the target to have disadvantage on... If the attack misses, you invoke one of the following effects. Here we go. Right, here we go. Number of times equal to your charisma modifier, regaining expended uses whenever you complete a long rest. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, actually. To gain a +3 bonus to your AC against the triggered attack. If the attack misses, you invoke one of the following effects. You cast a Bard cantrip targeting the attacking creature. The target draws one object it is holding. This AC bonus increases as you gain. Increases to +5. Oh no. When you reach 14th level, this bonus increases to +5. Because by that point, you got dudes that have like +13 to hit, and they take a swipe at you, and you're just like, oh, there goes me. This ability just becomes unusable, so +5 is probably not that big of a deal, probably. In theory, this could be a once per short rest ability, because it is legitimately really powerful, but then again, it is the class's core functionality, so it might actually just be fine. Attacks of opportunity are made against you at disadvantage. Yes, that's the one, Joe. That's the one. You may expend a use of your bardic inspiration as a reaction to gain a +3 bonus to your AC against the triggered attack. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. No, this sentence here is more powerful than the original version of this ability and the third level abilities combined. Insta-proc stun with no cost is a no-go, to say the least. That is a no. Right. You gain the following benefits. Attacks of opportunity are made against you at disadvantage. You gain advantage on attacks of opportunity. The first time some kind of okay, hang on, actually what I might do is whenever a creature misses you, you invoke one of the benefits of your Dancing Dervish feature. It might be very strong, but it's not particularly insane. This has a very limited reach, so basically you're gonna want to be it's only creatures within, like, you know, if you have like a polearm, or more specifically, if you have a reach weapon, which by the way a spear isn't. A spear it does not have reach, but again, just have a pike. It's just a big spear, doesn't matter. But yeah, this should. Now, obviously, this will need to be tested, but this is probably okay-ish. I'll DM it your way. This Phil's back. Oh, it's gonna send us one gigantic block of text. Oh, that's a bloody pain in the arse, isn't it? You have to put the paragraph breaks back in yourself. But yeah, that's true. Yeah, you sort of get like a worse warcaster that comes at a cost. The 14th level ability, the last bit, is potentially very strong, but it might be fine. Emphasis on might, given that it doesn't cost a reaction when. Yeah, actually, hang on a second. It definitely it should, even if it doesn't cost a reaction, it should be at least once per turn. Hang on. I'm about to resend you the 14th level feature with an alteration, because it's very broken. I mean, it's more a case of you, like, if you're releasing something, you need to make sure, even if it isn't like tested, it needs to at least be in a position where you can comfortably say this probably isn't super broken. Once per turn. There we go. That's a new 14th level thing, because that once per turn thing, that needs to be once. Because if the dragon attacks you 3 times and misses all 3 times, you shouldn't then be able to stab it 3 times. That is not something you want to be inspired by. That's a very unliked ability. Not to mention, it is a cost. The monks have to, in theory at least, they have to spend something to do Stunning Strike. But I've never met most GMs hate Stunning Strike, because it is just the definition of unfun. Because it really is. I've yet to meet I've met GMs who are okay with it, But I've never met a GM who's been like, oh yeah, Stunning Strike, Stunning Strike is good. Most GMs they either say, I don't mind it, or they say, I hate this ability. And for good reason. It's awful. It's awful. But, God, there's still so many fucking bots in here. Jesus Christ. But, right. This is sort of what we've done today. We've had a bit of a slow stream today, but that's fine. Basically, what we have done thus far, until the end of the monk's next turn. So they get 2 turns of them being stunned, and then they just do it again. And the version that you had was every single attack procs that save at no cost. So, obviously your bard can't make 2 attacks, but there are many ways to allow it to make 2 attacks by just, getting extra attack by some means. There's lots of ways of doing it. The bard can haste themselves. They can take 5 levels in fire, which is generally just a generically good multi-class anyway. All kinds of stuff. That ability is super broken, even if it's just 1 attack. But there are many, many, many ways for a bard. That is very true. That is very true. Presumably, 4 attacks, 4 hits, 4 key points, 5 key points spent, and no stun is almost certainly the case, because not only does the creature have to fail to save, which it probably won't, it also has to not use a legendary resistance, so the likelihood of success is like, you at minimum, it has to fail 4 times. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's like the core thing. A lot of my homebrew, I'm never going to publish. A, because it is like me taking other people's stuff and changing it a lot. I have a lot of like creators I really, really like. Sword Meow, Steve Fiddler, Ross Lacer. I love all of their work. But I always change it like a lot before I let my players even go near it. And they're all good designers, don't get me wrong, and I like all of their stuff, but at the same time, I want to make my own changes. I could never release that because it's not mine, but at the same time, my players using it doesn't fucking mean anything. That's fine. But, right. So yeah, what we have sort of defined today is sort of the very, very beginnings of this potential sort of new system is different sized objects, different containers and places where you can store things, and the relationship between object sizes. We're going to change all of these names because, again, tiny, small, medium, and large are the size of creatures and objects, and a large thing is 10 by 10 feet, not the size of a 2-handed weapon. That ain't how that shit works, right? But yeah, this is like the very, very beginning. I think the next time we look at this, because I think the last little bit of this is going to be me just talking about Homebrew for like 10 minutes or so before I get going. But yeah, when we next come back to this, it's going to be a case of working out how to visualize this, how we display it on something like Roll20 and on a character sheet as well. Because on a character sheet, you have like physical graphics, right? You have like little squares because a tiny item slot is something. Well, the tiny item slots aren't even a thing. They're like they're almost like a non-factor almost, because they're almost never going to be tracked. But for example, 2 small slots makes a medium slot, and 2 medium slots makes a large slot. So basically, you would have a lattice. Hey, let me make like a table real quick. So, hang on. So this is our tiny slot. There's 2 tiny slots. Merge them together. That is a medium slot. And then if we insert below and merge those cells, this is a large one. So this is sort of how it kind of scales up. And if I do this, and I don't want to split cells, merge cells. So this is how it's sort of, so we got large, 2 medium, 4 small, and then if we really wanted to go further down from that, we could do, it would be what, like 16 or something? No, it doesn't like it. It really doesn't like that. But that's the sort of factor there. It is kind of what we want to represent. So this would be, let me just, L, M, M, S, 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 S. Let me just shrink that. There. So that's what we want. That's what we're going for, is to have that be visualized in some capacity. A lot of this is me just putting my notes to paper, what we've done today. A lot of like the proper homebrew stuff and like testing comes basically next week, where we're gonna like probably build a character of some capacity. Let me go on webcam only now, because I'm not really gonna be looking at this anymore. I also need to like save this as well, because I haven't done that yet. There, I just saved it. But yeah, so that's more or less the end of the stream. Like, I'm just gonna be chatting about homebrew stuff for the next sort of 5-10 minutes before I get going, because I have a game to go to tonight. But yeah, I say the after this, I think I want to like codify. I want to do some more sort of codification of exploration. I have some notes in this notebook again about how I want to do that. Mostly just about like recontextualizing the way things like foraging work, the way things like the way eating and drinking works, because it is ridiculous the way that it works in 5e. It's really fucking stupid, and it's really dumb. Because you have to drink like 4 gallons of water. I'm pretty sure they're imperial gallons as well. Actually, they may be US gallons, because apparently there's a difference. Hang on. US gallon to imperial gallon. No, a US gallon is more. So, no, it's just an insane amount of water. Like, a human being does not need... a human being does not need 4 gallons of bloody water to survive. Realistically, it's like 2 pints. And 2 pints is still a lot. Like, to my knowledge, this water bottle I have here, to my knowledge, it's 500 milliliters. How much is... So it's half a liter. So 500 milliliters to pints. That's like a pint. So 2 of these a day is enough for a person. Obviously, as a traveller, I may up this number. I may up this to 4 pints, right? Because, you know, this is me sat on my desk every day. I drink a lot more than 2 of these a day. But realistically, I only actually need 2 of them. I drink a lot more, but I only actually need 2. I would probably up the number to 4, just because they're travelling. I might actually do that right now, because this is just a piece of paper. I can just scribble out a number and write a new one. There. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but if I were to, like, go out on a walk, if I were to do, like, an 8-hour walk, I would bring 4 of these. Like, as someone who has done a 16-mile walk before, and whilst that's not quite as far, I didn't drink 2 gallons of water when I did it. I didn't drink 2 gallons of water. I drank maybe a gallon, maybe. Like, and I was a child when I did this as well. By the way, I was like 12. Yeah, I think obviously it's gonna be more than a regular person. That's for certain. But at the same time, like you don't need 2 gallons of water in a day. That's for certain. And food as well. They're like, you need 2 pounds of food. It's like 2 pounds of food. That's a lot of food. Like, yeah, I'd say there's certainly arguments, but like yeah, like two. Like, I think it's two. It is 2 pounds, right? Because I just dropped it to one because again, a pound of food. That is a lot of food. That is a lot of food. But realistically, what I want to do is to make it so that the minimum is probably actually I might undo this change because these are minimums, right? These numbers I have here. There. These are the minimums a person needs to live. This is not what you need to be healthy. This is not what you need to be. How much weight? Well, I mean, it depends from person to person, really. Like, obviously, like a halfling is gonna weigh less, so walking is gonna be less trouble for them, or more trouble depending on the environment. And they're gonna be wearing, even if a halfling's in full plate, a halfling's full plate is gonna weigh half as much as the person's full plate. Yeah. Though I'm going to be changing foraging so that you can find different qualities of things. Hang on, let me try and see if that will zoom. Yeah. So foraging can find you different qualities of items. So you can find high quality things which are worth double the amount of sustenance, but they weigh the same amount. So yeah, like, you can survive drinking your piss and eating your shit, but it's not very healthy, and after a while, you just cycling the same nutrients through your system over and over and over and over again, it's not going to end well, because you will die quite slowly of just malnutrition, which is concerning. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I want to do. I also put in like days without food and days without water, like the number of days, because in the book they just say you can survive this many days and then you just die. Or actually, I don't think they say that, but it's like once you've gone past the threshold, you start taking exhaustion, which makes sense. But I've put in water, days without water. You can go a day. Like, as realistically, me as a human being, if I don't drink anything for a day, I feel pretty shitty at the end of that day. And I don't walk much. Like, I mostly sit at my desk and I work, and some days I will go out for an hour's walk down to the park. That is not exertion. If you're an adventurer traipsing through the wilderness 8 hours a day, walking a marathon every single day, and you don't drink for a whole day, and for 2 whole days, by the end of that second day, you are going to be tired as fuck. And it's only going to get worse. And the same goes for food. Again, like, me as a person, if I don't eat for a day, I feel pretty bad. If I don't eat for 2 days, then I'm really going to start to feel rough. And by 3 days, I've probably climatized to it, but that's because I sit in my chair and don't do much. Ah, yes. But, yeah, days without food is 1 plus your con mod. And after that point, you're like, I am so hungry that it is distracting me from my ability to do everything else, and I start starving. Even if I'm not going to die, I still feel like I'm dying because I haven't eaten in days. So yeah, I basically want to make survival. All of these rules, like the bag stuff and the survival stuff, I probably want to bundle together as one big thing I can sell at some point. That's the plan. Anyway, is someday down the line to release a little module, like 10 pages of somebody's survival guide or whatever. That's the plan, at least. But yeah, I'd say that is probably everything from me today because I do have somewhere to be. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves because I've had a decent time. Next week, probably going to come back to this. I'm not streaming it all during the week this week. On Friday, I am most likely streaming some more world building stuff because we started that last week. That was quite good fun. Yeah, no problem. You too. Saturday, I'm not doing a Hades stream because I'm doing a D&D stream with Katie, who is maybe still here. I'm not sure. I'm doing a stream with Owlet. We're doing like a crash course in character creation, and we need to work out exactly how that's going to work like tomorrow because we know what we're doing, but we need to like work out how it's going to work and like work out like Streamlabs and shit like that. So, you know, we'll work it out. It's not really a particularly big deal, but we'll I saw the announcement, but I didn't see there was a plan in there. I'll look at it later on. So yeah, that means I'm not doing my normal Hades stream on Saturday, so I'm not doing that. And on Sunday, I'm doing the same thing I did yesterday. I'm playing Dishonored and then Cloudpunk. So yeah, that's my schedule for this week. It's more or less the same as normal, except with something different on Saturday. Am I helping you? What am I helping you with? I'm not sure if I'm helping. I don't know. Let's see if there's somebody to raid. Not particularly. Ronimus is streaming, but generally his streams are in Russian. So, unless everybody here. Okay, right. Yeah, unless everybody here miraculously speaks Russian, I don't think I've raided him before when he's just doing like art streams, but I don't think he's doing an art stream at the moment. He seems to be doing something else. I will double check because if he is just doing an art stream, then I will go and now even the bloody stream title's in Russian. Oh fuck, there's ads. Oh, sod it. I'm not going to bloody bother. Either way, hope folks have enjoyed themselves today. I will see y'all again on Friday. That's it. Take care. Don't get run over by a bus or whatever. I mean, amongst other things, but that's probably one of the things you want to avoid doing in the next few days. But yeah, see ya.